And hello to each and every one of you out there. Welcome to this week's Threes on Fire podcast. I'm Del Boyd. I'm Irving Henderson. John, dealing with an issue right now. Hopefully everything is all right. First things first. How good was it to wake up on a Saturday morning and have college football back? The first episode of College Game Day. Now, I didn't get a chance to see it because I was at work. But that's not the point. The point is just the fact that College Game Day is back, college football is back. We're getting back to having football weekends.
Yes.
And I've been looking forward to it now. Last week, the weather kind of matched that energy of football. It was football weather last week here in Philly. This week a little bit warmer, but I can't wait to get the hoodie weather, that crisp in the air, man. That it's almost time, man. It's almost time. We getting close. High schools began also this past week. But how about number 10, Florida State, wasting no time getting themselves out of playoff contention of a 24-21 loss to Georgia Tech over there in Ireland. You know what? I like these week zero matchups, but sometimes like teams get caught. Teams get caught, especially in these overseas games. I thought Florida State got off to a quick start. They were up 8-0. Like they went for this swinging gate 2-point conversion. It was 8-0. It looked like, all right, they're the better team. They're going to blow Georgia Tech out. They didn't. Georgia Tech hung around. And one thing if you've watched football long enough, doesn't matter how bad a team is, if you let them hang around, they'll find a way to get you. And that's what happened. That's what happened to Florida State on Saturday. Was going to let John get some words in about his Hawaii team. They beat Delaware State 35-14. I don't think there was any shock there. Delaware State's a lower level, like HBCU squad. So, yeah, as expected, Hawaii got off to a start with a win. My Temple Owls are not going to start this season off with a win. They're in Oklahoma Friday night. I just hope as long as they don't lose by 50, I'll be okay. I'll be okay. As long as they don't lose by 50. The Little League World Series just wrapped up. Florida, the championship game between Florida and Taiwan. Florida won the game 2-1 in 8 innings. Horrible way for Taiwan to lose that game. They also have the ghost runner rule at the Little League level. So you start extra innings with a runner on second. Taiwan had an opportunity in their half of the 8th, weren't able to score. Florida batter laid down a bunt. The pitcher went to field the ball, threw the ball to first base. It would have been an easy out, but the first baseman had come down the line also to field the ball. So when the pitcher turned to throw it, there was nobody there. And it's tough to lose a championship game, period, point blank. But to lose a championship game on an error hurts. And I know those kids, that's got to feel terrible. I mean, if you're the pitcher, you feel terrible. If you're the first baseman, you feel terrible. Heart goes out to those kids. But the Little League championship won by Florida, so United States keeping the title home. And for those that are into the Little League World Series, Taiwan or Chinese Taipei, whichever one you want to call them, they are a machine. They are around every year. Every year. They're either in the championship or they're in the semifinals or whatever. I don't know how that program is run over there, but they have been like this since I was young. And that's we talking back in the 80s. They still reload every year with the talent that they have over there. I'm surprised we don't see more Taiwanese Major League Baseball players.
Yeah, that is a shock right there.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of Taiwan's, if Taiwan Walker never takes the mound in the Phillies uniform again, I would be perfectly fine with that. This guy stinks. Okay? He absolutely, positively, 100% stinks. The Phillies have lost each of his last 8 starts. He's got a 7.11 ERA in those starts. However, fortunately, this weekend, he's the only one that had a disastrous start. The Phillies taking 2 out of 3 from the Kansas City Royals this weekend. In fact, they scored 11 runs in each of the last 2 games. Shohei Ohtani became the 6th member of the 40-40 club on Friday night. He had his 40th home run and stole his 40th base in the same game. His 40th home run was a walk-off grand slam to beat the Rays. He also achieved the feat faster than it's ever been done in league history. He did it in 126 games, 21 games faster than Alfonso Soriano. And if you look at that list, really the only, I guess, impressive names or guys who are probably Hall of Fame level is Bonds and A-Rod. The other guys on that list are Jose Canseco, Alfonso Soriano, and oh God, I can't remember the other guy's name is not going to come to my head yet. I'll have to look that up and give you the other one, the 6th guy that's on that list. But you're never going to see Bonds or A-Rod in the Hall of Fame because of the steroid scandal team.
Yeah.
Speaking of records, the Chicago White Sox have become the fastest team in MLB history to lose 100 games. It's not even September yet, and the Sox are 31-100. The 1962 orange and blue wearing bums have the record for the most losses in a season with 120. In order for the White Sox to avoid tying that record, they have to go 12-19 the rest of the way. They're probably going to break that record.
Yeah,
they are probably going to break that record.
Break that.
And that's just, I mean, and then they're talking about they want a new stadium out there. They want to build the White Sox a new stadium somewhere in Chicago. Who is supporting this team right now? Who wants to go out and watch that? And not just watch that. I've been to that stadium, right?
Yeah.
With the exception of Oakland, right? It's the worst. It's the worst strictly open air stadium in the league. And honestly, it's almost because their stadium became outdated 1 year after it opened. So everybody had the circular cookie cutter stadiums, and that's what their stadium is. And then the Orioles opened Camden Yards, and that became the new standard for what baseball stadiums look like. So it only took a year for this stadium to be outdated, and it's a terrible place to see a ball game. It is. It's not fun. It's not enjoyable. There's no amenities around. It's basically a stadium in the middle of a parking lot. There's nothing to do at all. When the game is over, it's practically in the middle of nowhere, off the highway. So it's in a bad location. It's poorly built. No amenities. Like if the White Sox moved, I would totally understand that. I would totally understand.
That sounds like a team that needs to move their stadium.
Listen, they got to do something, and I don't think a new stadium is going to change the culture that's going on with that team right now. They are a bad franchise, and they're going in the opposite direction right now. It's not that long ago that they had young, talented, superstar level players, and just like that, it's just turned to absolute shit in Chicago. So I expect that they're going to lose. I'm going to say 122. I think they're going to lose 122 games, and that's going to be that. And I don't know. Next year is probably going to be more of the same.
I mean, nothing like a fresh start, though, right?
Yeah, we'll see. I doubt it, though. I listen. It's going to be. I think this is a situation where they are almost just like Oakland, but they're worse than Oakland. That's the part that is like baffling to me. The A's are a poorly run franchise, and they're getting ready to move to Sacramento for a couple of years, and trust me, at some point we'll have that that conversation about their relocation issue.
Yeah,
because their stadium in Vegas isn't even secured yet. They may not even be able to get to Vegas. They may be stuck in Sacramento, like either permanently or at least very much longer than they expect to. Hold on one second. You cut the light on.
that's it.
All right, Sadell, quick question, man. You got a spare $24 million sitting around?
Not at all, my guy.
Well, if you did, you could have bought Babe Ruth's game-worn called shot jersey from the 1932 World Series. The jersey sold for $24.12 million at auction last week and set a new record for any sports collectible. That passes the $12.6 million for a mint condition 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle card. It also doubled up the highest selling jersey, which was Michael Jordan's 1998 Finals Game 1 jersey. Finally, before we get into our conversation about
wait, who you said bought that?
They didn't say who.
Oh.
They didn't name who bought it. But before no, they're non-disclosed. That's some bread for a jersey that you're never gonna wear. That thing is never going to leave the house. It's never coming out of the case. Yep. Yeah. Nobody's allowed to touch it. Nobody's allowed to breathe on it. None of that. And listen, I got some stuff over here, some cards that are in plastic that my kids are not allowed to go near. Like, don't touch it. Don't even think about it. Don't even look at it. Just, they over here, don't bother.
Right.
and I just got a new one too. And they know, like, don't touch it. When it comes in, I'll open it and I'll put it in plastic and put it away. I don't want you touching it at all. Finally, I don't know if this is an ominous sign or not, but on Friday night, several Los Angeles Chargers players, including quarterback Justin Herbert and Dan Fouts' wife, Jerry, found themselves stuck in the elevator for 2 hours at the team's hotel in Dallas. First of all, let me be honest with everybody here, okay? I don't like being in enclosed spaces. I don't.
Right.
And I would freak out if I was stuck on an elevator. I would freak out if I was stuck on an elevator. And they were on that elevator for 2 hours? Nah, The way my anxiety is, it wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have worked. I'd have climbed up the shaft, something. There's no way. I would have been crawled like rope climbing up the elevator shaft, trying to get to the next floor because I can't do it. I can't do it.
What floor they was on?
Apparently, I think it said it was in between like the 8th floor and the 13th floor. So it was somewhere in between there. Yeah, no. No, get me the hell out of here, man.
You know, elevators don't have that little door you could pop open like that no more either, though.
And that's what makes it even worse. That's what makes it even worse. They literally had to wait for fire rescue to come and get them out.
Yeah, and
they actually that one did. So they were able to get them and pull them through the panel to get them out. But no, that's If there's like maybe 3 things in this world that I would never want to have happen to me, I think being stuck on the elevator is like second.
That is one of them. An elevator, well, one like that, I'd be inclined to do what you said, pop that joint myself and
oh yeah,
send me up the road.
Like, yo, get me out of here, man, please. But like I've been stuck on an elevator before.
You know, the ones at the job, they don't have that.
I was stuck on one of those elevators before, right? And it was only for about 30 seconds, right? But it felt like an eternity because I was freaking out, like, yo, why the door's not opening? I'm hitting the door like, yo, what's up with the elevator? And as soon as
hitting them on the walkie, like, yeah, what's up?
As soon as somebody, and mind you, the fortunate thing is it was a weekend. So it wasn't like there were other people in the building, and we were doing the We were doing the fire training.
Fire training.
and the doors closed and didn't open for like probably I say 15, 20 seconds. I was losing it. I was absolutely losing it because I did not want to be stuck on nobody's elevator. All right. Well, listen, today is our prediction show. We're going to talk about where we have everybody finishing this year and who we got winning the Super Bowl. So we're going to start off as usual. We're going to start off in the AFC. Sadell, go ahead and give me your AFC East predictions.
All right. So you want the winners of each division?
No, you can go in the order how you think they're going to finish. You can go. You can go top down or 4 up. Either way.
Okay, we're gonna do top down. You want to start with the North?
Start with the East.
East. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Jets, Dolphins, Bills, Patriots.
Okay. I got Bills, Dolphins, Jets, Patriots. I think we concur that the Patriots are clearly the worst team in the division. I understand. I understand why people are kind of off the Bills this year. I get it, but I don't see anything that the Jets have done to improve upon where they were last year, except for maybe the fact that Aaron Rodgers is back. That's it. I don't see anything that the Jets did to improve on either side of the ball for me to believe that they're even in playoff contention. I think they'll be in. I think they'll be in that mix.
They're going to be in the fringe of the wild cards.
Yep, and they won't make it.
I mean, they won. They won didn't they win 7 games last year?
Yeah, but I think that they are still in that 7, 8, 9 game win area. I don't see them flipping that and going 10-7. Now, could it happen? I think the Jets' ceiling is high. I think their ceiling is high. I think they could, possibly win that division, but their floor is also pretty low. And I just think that they're going to be right in that middle between the ceiling and the floor, what they possibly could do, and they're going to miss the playoffs again. And the biggest thing going on right now with them is this Hassan Reddick situation. Like, you knew when he was in Philly, he wanted a new contract. And the Eagles weren't going to give it to him because he wanted too much money. Brought him in, gave up a younger guy who does the same thing. And if you can't tell me that this isn't a distraction. You can't. You cannot tell me that this is not a distraction. It's a problem. This is the guy who was supposed to solidify your defense. You can't even get him in the camp. I don't think he's good. Look, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't play this year.
I won't be surprised either.
Now, the one thing
he won't play for them.
No, and I don't know. And Eagles fans, please stop. The Eagles are not trading to get him back. He's gone. The Eagles got rid of him for a reason. Like, they're not going to bring him back in another trade. So let that pipe dream go. He's not going to be traded back to the Eagles. And no, the NFL is not going to void the trade either. So get those thoughts out of your head. Interesting thing though. I think we both have the Dolphins finishing second. I think the only difference we have is you have the Bills third. I have the Bills winning the division this year. I think the Dolphins are right there. I think they will be in the mix to win the division. I just don't think they will.
Yeah. You know how it is coming down the stretch with the Dolphins. As soon as they get cold, they start to fold. So
Yep. All right, now we'll move on to the AFC North. My picks for the AFC North, I have the Ravens winning the division. I have the Browns finishing in second. I have the Steelers finishing in third, and I have the Bengals fourth.
Ditto.
Oh, wow.
I literally had that exact same thing.
This one might have been easy. This I think this and the West might have been easy to predict.
The West is tough for me for who's going to be at the bottom.
Oh wow. Yeah, well, we know it ain't. We know that we're not talking about who's going to finish at the top.
Oh no, there's no question there.
I don't think there's any question of who's going to finish at the top of that division. I mean, unless like 16 different tragedies happen. I think you all know who we have winning the West, but we'll get to that next. But before we move on to the South, Mike Tomlin has not had a losing season as head coach of the Steelers. I don't think they're going to have a losing record this year. I don't. I think they're going to finish 10-7, 9-8. I don't have them making the playoffs this year, but I think they will. Like, it's almost like death, taxes, Steelers finishing above 500 under Mike Tomlin.
Yeah. It's almost written in stone.
Right. Yep. All right, go ahead. You take the AFC South.
This was tough for me because I went back and forth with this.
Mm-hmm.
Texans, Jags, Colts, Titans.
Same here. Now, were you going back and forth on whether you had the Jaguars or the Colts second?
I was actually going back and forth of the Jaguars or Texans first.
Wow.
And my reason for that is because the Texans have such a difficult schedule this time around.
Right.
That first place schedule is going to be a doozy. Mm-hmm. But lucky for them, I mean, they loaded up even more, so they should still pull it off. But I mean, with teams adjusting to CJ Stroud now that they got a whole year of knowing what he can do, I mean, I don't think he's gonna cakewalk the same way he went last season. So it's gonna be a dogfight. I had him edging out the Jags.
All right, yeah. I was actually trying to figure out whether I had the Jaguars or the Colts finishing second. Initially, I did have the Colts finishing second, but I'm not betting against Doug Peterson this year. I'm not. I think the Jaguars have a quality enough roster that they shouldn't fold down the stretch this year.
Right.
So I think that they'll be in contention to make the playoffs, probably in contention to win the division too. But I think Houston right now, I think Houston has the tools to make a big run.
Yeah.
All right, and moving on to the West. Obviously, we have the Chiefs winning the division there. I could have just pulled either of these three teams out of a hat. So I have the Chargers finishing second, the Raiders third, the Broncos finishing in last.
Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, Raiders, and Broncos, Raiders was a toss-up. I flipped a coin.
Yeah, you can flip a coin on that. It doesn't really matter. All right, so
even the Chargers, they kind of scare me because they might bottom out too.
They could. They absolutely could. Like, you could have took all three of those teams, put them in a hat, and just pull a name out, and it doesn't even matter. Like, the Chiefs are so far in front of these teams, like, they'll beat each other up to determine draft position.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't think either of those three teams are going to make the playoffs. I don't know if they're going to finish with a winning record either.
I have them winning 3, 4, and 5 games.
Ooh. All right,
the Chiefs might win more games than all three of those teams combined.
They could. They absolutely could. I'm not even going. I'm not going to hold you. That wouldn't surprise me. It may be outside of one team. It may be the worst division in the league outside of the Chiefs. The Chargers, Raiders, Broncos may be the worst collection of teams in the division this year.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk about playoff position. Who do you have 1 through 7?
So obviously, with such a poor division, the Chiefs are going to secure the 1 seed.
Yep.
And then the Ravens, I feel like the Ravens had the 2 seed.
Mm-hmm.
Now the tricky part is the Jets and the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
I had the Jets getting the 3 seed and the Texans getting the 4 seed.
Okay.
Those are the winners. And then for the wild cards, the Dolphins 5th seed, Browns 6th seed, and Steelers 7th seed.
Oh, okay. All right, I got a little different. I got a little different here, obviously, because we don't have all the same division winners. I have the Chiefs finishing with the 1 seed, clearly again in a terrible ass division. I have the Bills finishing with the 2 seed. I have the Ravens the 3, the Texans the 4. I have the Browns as the 5, the Dolphins as the 6, and I have the Jaguars making the playoffs as the 7 seed. All right, now let's put a pin in that because we're going to come back to our actual playoff predictions. Let's move on to the NFC. And we're going to start with the NFC East, a division that has not seen a repeat winner since the Eagles from 2002 to 2004. Excuse me, 2001 to 2004. Last year, the Cowboys won the division. I'm going to kick it off. I'm going to tell you, I think the Eagles are going to win the division this year.
You know y'all going to win.
No, listen. I think right now, the Eagles are going to go one of 2 ways. Okay, they're either going to get beyond what happened last year and actually make a run, or the season's going to be a 5-star disaster. There's no middle ground. There will be no middle ground this year. So if they get off to a slow start, the fan base is going to start yelling for Sirianni to be fired. It was loud for him to be fired at the way last season ended. If it starts the way it ended, you just might see Sirianni get fired in the middle of the season. It could happen. I have the Cowboys. I have the Cowboys finishing 2nd. I have the Giants 3rd, and I have the Commanders rolling out the tank.
Don't roll out that tank yet for the Commanders.
No, I think they're rolling out the tank.
I have the Eagles, then the Cowboys, then the Commanders, then the Giants.
Ooh. Listen, I truly believe the Commanders are tanking. I mean, what other reason do you have to send your top receiver to a division rival? Why is Jahan Dotson an Eagle right now? Not that I'm complaining about it, but for a 3rd and a 5th? That sounds to me like, hey, roll out the tank.
It do, but the Giants are just trash. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm not saying that the Giants are.
I was about to call them the Redskins. God damn it. I think the Commanders. That's so terrible. I think the Commanders might actually have a better quarterback, and still have the better number 1 receiver, better running back, better offensive line. They just got better team.
Listen, I don't know. And again, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the Giants are here and the Commanders are down here. They neck and neck. They neck and neck. So could the Giants finish in last? Absolutely.
If anybody needs to be running out the tank, though, it should be the Giants.
Yeah.
They need to sell off that contract.
They're not. They stuck with him. They stuck with him. And I don't know if this coming draft next year, I don't know if there's that many good quarterbacks that you're gonna like. Who you gonna take?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess when we get into the deep dive into the college football, we'll try to figure out who's going to be that prospect coming up. But
yep. And we'll talk more about college football next week. I think the realignment I'm not too happy with the realignment. I'm not okay with the death of the Pac-12.
Oh yeah, that started this year, don't it?
Yeah, I think there's too many conferences with too many teams, too many top-heavy teams. Yeah, we'll get into that conversation next week.
Yeah,
but who do you have in the NFC North?
North. The North remembers. The Lions, the Packers, the Bears, and the Vikings.
Same here. Same here.
I think the way we discussed it last week, pretty much, it's kind of laid out that same way.
Yep.
The Vikings unfortunately had all those injuries.
Yeah.
And that pretty much it sealed the fate of their season before it began.
Mm-hmm. And my thing to the Bears, I mean, I honestly think coming into the season, the Bears may be the most overrated team in the league.
Yeah, everybody got them as this crazy sleeper. Like,
for what? For what? Like, I mean, this is. You know who I blame for this? I blame C.J. Stroud for this. I do. I blame him for this because the success that he had last year, teams now think these younger guys are going to come in day one and replicate that same thing. Washington expects that with Daniels, and the Bears expect that with Caleb Williams. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't. And don't get me wrong, they have a pretty good roster, but all of this talk, I've actually seen people talk about the Bears making the playoffs this year.
No.
Stop that. No, they're not making the playoffs this year.
You know what? Speaking of system of quarterbacks, even though we left the AFC, do you think Patriots, right? The Patriots, you think they should go ahead and start Drake May?
They should. They should. I mean, if you're gonna, I don't agree anymore with the old school thinking of your rookie quarterback 6 for a year or two. You have a veteran guy, groom him. Listen, it's hit or miss, and the way that teams are treating these quarterbacks nowadays, you might as well start the rookie and see what he got. Now, I know the Patriots may be a little gun shy because they tried that with Mac Jones and it didn't work. But what else are you going to do? What else are you going to do? You're gonna start a veteran? Like, you're going to lose with your rookie.
Jacoby Brissett, right? So the word that I was hearing was that Drake May has been looking better, a lot better than Brissett, because he got a way better, more talented, more arm talent, just way better talent with his arm. So he could just make some throws that Jacoby just not gonna do, not gonna try, and
just start the kid. Start the kid. That's what you do. Start him.
I mean, I would say that the only reason I would say to not to would be if your offensive line was just so trash that you really gonna get them killed. But if you got decent enough to just get through it, you just got to get through it.
Listen, they're going to be one of the worst teams in the league, one way or the other. It doesn't matter who the starter is going to be. I'm personally at this mode where let your young guy play. Let him figure it out. Like, it's not going to get any better with him being on the bench, because what's going to happen is you're going to get off to a slow start. You're going to be losing. The fans are going to be calling for him to be in there anyway. So you might as well just start off by letting him play. Whatever happens, happens. Like, this year is not going to be good one way or the other. So start him. Start Drake May.
Right. All
right. Moving on to the NFC South. I have the Bucs winning the division. I have the Falcons finishing second, Saints third, and sorry, dog. I'm sorry. Listen, I would have loved to say that you guys would finish above the Saints. Thoughts and prayers, buddy. Thoughts and prayers. That's all I got for you. I got the Panthers finishing in last.
So, I had the Panthers finishing first.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You absolutely positively do not have y'all finishing first. Stop that.
All right. So,
let me look out my window and see if it's snowing. No, go ahead.
Oh, wait. It might be some hail. Is that close enough?
Go ahead. What you got mentioned first? Go ahead.
So speaking of the
Oh,
Aints,
man.
the
Mhm.
Aints, I have the Aints edging out the Falcons. Oh my God. The
To win
Aints,
the
the
division?
Falcons. Huh?
Okay, go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah, the Aints, the Falcons, the Bucks, and then us.
Ooh, okay. So,
It's a weird division. Like
all right.
I don't know how. I don't know why.
No, no,
But
no, 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 no. I need understanding why chips in the middle of the table for the Saints this year.
whoa, middle of the table. Whoa. Nah, we we
No, not all
reluctantly.
of them. Not no, 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 not all of them. Not all of them. I didn't say you slid all of your chips to the middle of the table, but clearly you got some chips in the middle of the table for them because you think they're going to win the division.
No, it's just the division is so bad. I don't trust
Yeah.
Baker. I don't trust Baker to be good in back-to-back years. That's for one.
Okay. Okay.
Plus the Bucks are aging. The Falcons are
Okay.
young, but Kirk Cousins gotta be fully healthy from his Achilles.
Mm-hmm.
And they got to prove that they know how to give Bijan Robinson the ball consistently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The Aints are like the most stable kind of just their team. They're just there.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, they didn't get any worse or really any better. They just, there's no, the upside for the Falcons is high, but they could also
Yeah.
just flop. And like I said with the
Mm-hmm.
Bucks, I don't trust Baker to be back to back, and we not in it.
Okay.
So
All right. Well, listen, and also on that list, and I know that, like, oh, I'm giving away the game here anyway. I picked the Falcons to make the playoffs, but I think the Falcons are also in that same area with the Bears, where I think they're being overrated right now too. I think they'll be good, but I'm seeing things where they're going to win I don't think they're going to win the division. I don't think they'll win the division one way or the other. I think they'll make a run and that'll be that.
right.
All right, you got the West.
I'm going to stick with that Rams. So 49ers, Rams, Seahawks, Cardinals.
Same thing here. I don't know how much this, Ayuk situation is weighing on these guys. It's a pretty dumbass situation, if you ask me. I honestly don't understand exactly what this guy wants. They had trades on the table for him. He denied all of them. So you either want to leave or you don't.
Yeah.
I mean, the door is open. There still is a deal in principle in place for him to go to Pittsburgh. Take the deal and go to Pittsburgh if you want to leave.
Yeah.
Sorry, I truly don't understand what the hell is going on with that situation.
Maybe he wants to be a Panther.
Maybe you won't win nothing, but
hey, look, man, you gonna get about being with us, he gonna get about 160 targets
or more, or more. Yeah. All right. My order from 1 to 7. I have the 49ers finishing with the top seed. I have the Lions 2, the Eagles 3, the Bucks 4, the Packers 5, the Falcons 6, and the Cowboys just creeping in as the 7th seed.
Whoa! Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's 6 and 7.
Now, here's why. You already laid it out. The Falcons are in a worse division, and the Cowboys, by virtue of winning the division last year, have to play a first place schedule. So I think I think they'll get in, but I think they'll finish with that last playoff spot.
Okay. Damn, having them over the Cowboys though. That's tough. That's rough. All right, let me give you mine.
I mean, well, listen, the season ain't start yet. They already got 2 wins. I mean,
Yeah, against the Cowboys might got 4 though. Cowboys probably got 4. So
go ahead, man. All right, I'm done. I'm done taking shots at y'all. I'm done. Go ahead. Give me your order 1 through 7.
got the Lions in the first seed, the Niners with the second seed, the Eagles with the third seed, the Aints with the fourth, Packers with the fifth, Rams with the sixth, and Cowboys with the seventh.
Oh man, you got the Cowboys finishing with the 7th seed too.
Yeah, but not under the Falcons.
No, I just. Now here's the thing. I think the Falcons
because of the way the
you have, you have the Rams. I mean, I don't have the Rams making the playoffs this year.
I mean, I had it flipped at first. I had the Rams 7th and the Cowboys 6th. But like you said, the Cowboys play at first place schedule. So I think the Rams just got just a little bit easier road. And they're gonna have more tiebreakers. They'll probably finish with the same record. They'll probably both be like 10-7.
All right. Let's jump back to the AFC. Let's start with the wild card. Give me your 3 wild card winners.
Give me the Ravens over the Steelers, the Jets over the Browns, and the Dolphins to upset my son.
All right. Well, I have the Bills beating the Jaguars. I have the Ravens beating the Dolphins, and I have the Texans beating the Browns. Let's move over to the NFC side of things. I have the Lions beating the Cowboys, the Eagles beating the Falcons, and the Packers upsetting the Bucs. Let's go back over to the AFC for the divisional playoff.
Hold up, I ain't get my NFC.
Oh yeah. Go ahead, your NFC.
I have the 49ers over the Cowboys, the Eagles over the Rams, and the Packers to beat the Aints.
Okay. All right.
Now you want me to start the other one?
Yeah, now your divisional playoff.
Chiefs over Dolphins, Ravens over Jets.
Okay. I got the Ravens over the Bills, and I have the Texans knocking off the Chiefs.
Whoo! Hey, I'm with it though.
Yep.
I'm with it.
All right, over in the divisional, I have the Packers over the 49ers, and I have the Eagles over the Lions.
I have the 49ers over the Lions and the Eagles over the Packers.
Okay. All right, let's go. Conference championship time. Who you got coming out of the AFC?
Ravens get their lick back.
Okay.
Ravens beat the Chiefs.
All right. Well, you and I both have the Ravens in the Super Bowl. I have the Ravens over the Texans. Over in the NFC, I am going to get so much hate for this. I am. I know it. And I know, like, there are people right now that are going to be pissed at me. And
what? I
am preemptively apologizing to y'all. Okay? I'm sorry. I'm sorry I did it. I'm sorry that we came down to this road and I didn't let the Eagles get to the conference championship, and I done predicted that the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl. I have the Eagles over the Packers in the NFC championship.
Well, we both got the Eagles, so the Eagles beat the 49ers again to get back to the Super Bowl.
All right, so we have the same Super Bowl matchup.
Eagles,
now granted, we took different roads to get there, but we both have the Eagles and the Ravens in the Super Bowl. And here's the thing, I'm going to say it again, hosting a trip to Baltimore in December for anybody that wants to get out there and see this game. So we're talking about a Super Bowl preview happening late in the season. I'm going to say this. I think the Eagles will lose that December game. I think the Ravens will win that game at home. I'm going to have fun down there. But if I was predicting the Eagles' schedule, I think that is one of the games that they will lose. But I'm going to say it. Get ready to be on Broad Street, everybody. I have the Eagles beating the Ravens in the Super Bowl. in an absolute classic. I think Hurts and Jackson will put on a show. I think the Eagles will make a defensive stop late in the game. Championship time. What do you got?
I had the same thing, man. Eagles defeat the Ravens.
All right. Let's get ready. Let's get ready. I think it's time. I think it's time for a party. I would absolutely love it.
Me too.
But please, everybody out there, please remember what I said, though. I said this season will go one of two ways for the Eagles with no in between. They will either be on point and make a run, or it's going to be a disaster. All right. So the exact opposite could happen, and this team could end up finishing like 5-12, and you got more questions than answers all over again.
That would be very ugly, man.
It would. In this city, did you see how fast? You see how fast people wanted Wentz out of here? You see how fast Doug Peterson got ran out of here? We in that same window of time for Doug Peterson's run to start going backwards. And Peterson won a Super Bowl. He didn't just get the one, he won it. All right. So I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that this prediction comes true. Now, you have it set for the award winners this year. Who you got winning the awards?
MVP was tough to pick, man. Because for one, Lamar is already just pretty much automatically out of it. I think too many people have probably thinking about CJ. I think it might be a tad too early to crown him as an MVP. A lot of people think Josh Allen because he's gonna have to basically carry the Bills on his back for real, like even more so than he has ever done.
True.
I'm thinking Patrick Mahomes sneaks in and and gets this MVP.
Okay.
I wanted to say Hurts, but like you said, the Eagles also had that, that downside that can happen if things fall apart on them. They just won't give it to like a running back because otherwise I would say C-Mac.
Right. Well, here's the thing. I think Hurts will be in the running, but I think having Saquon Barkley's going to get a lot of touches. And I think Barkley is going to, take a lot of pressure off of Hurts. I think the Eagles are going to run the ball a lot more this year with Saquon Barkley as the number one back. So I think that's going to pull Hurts out of the MVP conversation.
They better. Defensive Player of the Year. I got my man Myles Garrett repeating. Coach of the Year. Matt LaFleur.
Okay.
I mean, it's pretty much been everybody else around the horn that's been in it.
Right.
LaFleur is the only one who hasn't gotten one. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, I was kind of torn.
To have it sold up, automatically, but I think Marvin Harrison might sneakily grab that thing.
Okay. Yeah, I was torn. But I wasn't torn with it being between Harrison and Caleb Williams. I was torn with it being between Harrison and Malik Neighbors. I think Neighbors is pretty much going to be the guy in New York.
Number one, number two, number three.
Yep.
Yeah. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Latu, the edge rusher that went to the Colts. And their defense going to be on the field a lot. So, and the offensive lines aren't that great in the AFC South. So he'll have opportunity.
Okay. All right. Well, listen. Season starts in about a week and a half. The kickoff game. Obviously, the Chiefs get to host it. Eagles starting the season on Friday in Brazil. I gotta admit, I don't like it. I don't like I get you want to grow the game internationally. I do. I get that. But it's one thing that you're having these games in London. Okay. That's one thing. It's another thing that you putting games in Germany next. And then the Mexico game. Like, we don't need all these international games. We don't. We don't need all these international games. I get it. The Jaguars, because of their owner, has some ties to London. So sending the Jaguars over there, okay, I get that. We're not putting teams over there. I keep hearing all of this expansion. Oh, well, they're going to expand to Europe someday. For what? They had an entire league over there that they scrapped.
Right.
So, I mean, now you're telling me they're going to take an NFL franchise and put them over there? How is that going to work? How? And then, the Super Bowl should go to London. How? The Super Bowl is an American primetime event.
Yeah.
The difference in time from here to there. So the Super Bowl is going to be played early in the afternoon, Eastern time, like late in the morning on the West Coast. No, it's not happening. Like, get that pipe dream out. I'm not a big fan of international games. I'm sorry. If you are,
the Brazil game is
cool.
Just too weird for me because it's like them in football. They got football, soccer. That's their thing. That's really their thing. Like,
yeah. All of these countries that they send these games to, they don't really care like that about American football. Do they watch it? Yes. Are they into it? Yes. But we're like number 2, number 3 over there. We're not overtaking soccer in these countries. We're not doing that. And some of these countries, basketball is number 2. So I don't get it. Like, I heard about it. Yeah, it would have been fun to go to Brazil to see this game, but for what?
Yeah.
Let me see the international games for the season.
Not to mention, just down in like South America, and it's, I don't know, it's too risky.
True.
Too risky. You're getting like sick down there. You know, you eat the wrong thing, drink the wrong water.
Yep.
Get bit by a mosquito or something. I don't know.
And then to my understanding, like, these guys are gonna, especially the Brazil game, like, they're gonna have heavy security, get them in and out of the stadium because, you know, it gets wild in Brazil.
Yeah.
It gets wild in Brazil. And if people don't understand how wild it gets in Brazil, watch the movie City of God. Okay? and then understand that what you see in that movie really happened. That's not like, it's not a movie that's just somebody's screen wrote out. No, those things are based on stuff that actually happened down there, or over there, I should say. I'm good. You get in the wrong taxi, you getting kidnapped, and my peoples ain't got enough money to get me out, so I'm gonna be stuck over there. Like, no, I'm good. But yeah, so there's the Brazil game. There's 1, 2, 3 games
if they
3 games in London.
The London games I'm fine with. It's a little hike over there. It's an experience for the players, the ones that never traveled, like, when they rookies. But I don't know. I mean, I guess it helps, like you said, it helps out the Jaguars, their revenue.
Now, speaking of, and I'm looking at it right now. So, if you're a Jacksonville Jaguar fan, and your team goes over there, you're losing a home game.
Yeah,
they're going to be over there twice. They're going to be over there for back-to-back games. I'm not okay with that. I would not be okay. I would not be okay with my team losing 2 home games that I could go to. And then for whatever reason, and I'm sorry, dog. I'm sorry. I'm not taking a shot at y'all. But for whatever reason, we're sending the Giants and y'all to Germany.
I don't know.
Like, y'all couldn't pick two other teams to send over there? Like that?
I mean,
that's the best we got to offer these fans in Germany.
well, that's the thing. It's usually the teams that have low attendance. When you got low
Then
attendance, you try to
that must
boost
be
them.
y'all home game.
Oh yeah, for sure. The Giants are
That's
not
gotta
letting
be.
that happen.
That's got to be y'all home. No, I think it did happen to them before though.
No, I think you might be right. You might be right. I think they might have played the Jets out there.
It's just, I mean, I just,
which is ironic because that's both of them. Like they share the
yeah.
same.
Mm-hmm.
But
Hold on a second. Whose game is that? And I'm looking it up. Keep talking. I'm trying to figure out who's the home
so
team.
I was gonna say,
that Germany game.
You know, since we doing different countries, I mean, you could slide a game over to Toronto every now and then. That would be like not that much of a hassle. You know what I mean?
No, not at all. I'm surprised. I'm surprised that the NFL hasn't had more international games in Toronto or in Canada. Period. I'm surprised. Listen, I'm surprised we haven't had a game in Puerto Rico. I'm surprised there hasn't been a regular season game. Like, granted, you'd have to do it early in the season, but put a game in Alaska.
Oh shit!
I would say put a game in Hawaii, but we had the Pro Bowl there every year, and I mean, that's almost as bad as the international travel going to Hawaii.
True.
But put a game somewhere else. Like, put a game where that there are legit fans of the NFL.
Yeah.
Now, again, I get it. London, I get it. Germany and Brazil. Nah, we shouldn't be playing. We shouldn't be playing no games in Brazil. And I'm not just saying that because the Eagles are the team that's going to Brazil. I think it's a
no. I
don't think it's a good idea.
No, I think it's too much risk.
Mm-hmm. All right,
and
let me see something. Give me that.
You know, you brought up Puerto Rico. I mean, you know, I think if they expand going to another sport, basketball, you know, team in Puerto Rico wouldn't be the worst idea.
No, but I don't know. Again, I don't know how much support they're going to get.
Yeah, that's the
thing. I don't know. And I know that they were clamoring for a Major League Baseball team, especially when
baseball.
But they blew it. They botched that. But they botched that. Like, you're going to send them to Expos for like 40 games, and that was a tease. That was a tease. I mean, I thought that, you know, the Expos were going to move to Puerto Rico. No, they ended up going to Washington. And quick thing, your boys are trying to get me to spin to win money off from their online store. So if you are interested in getting yourself some Panthers gear, I would tell you right now would be the time to do it, because I think they have between 15 and 25% off. I'm not going to spin this wheel. I'm going to close it because I just want to see something real quick.
Spin that wheel.
No, I already closed it. I already closed it. I'm trying to see, is that a home? Who's the home team for that? Or do they just not designate a team to be the home team for that? Yeah, I don't think.
Home game.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who they're designating as the home team. And then, like, the schedule is imbalanced now because it's 17 games. So I don't know. I won't be able to tell.
It says Giants at Panthers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the direct website just says, okay, yeah, I guess that is a home game for y'all. Okay. Wait, hold on a second. So if that's a home game for you, no, it can't be. No, they can't give y'all a home game for that, because then technically y'all would have 4 home games in a row.
I mean, we're not gonna be at home though.
Nah, but even not being at home, like, I don't see that.
Listen,
y'all technically gonna have 4 home games in a row.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Technically,
that's wild. I'm sorry, that's wild. 4 home games in a row.
I mean, we need all 4 of those.
Yeah.
We got
One
we
of them
got
is
the
to get.
Aints. We got the Aints, the Giants, the Chiefs, and the Bucks. I was about to.
At least the
I
Chiefs
mean,
game
for
gonna be
all
a
that,
sellout.
they could have drugged the Chiefs out there. Let the Chiefs whoop up on us. Let everybody see the world champions.
That would have made some sense. That makes more sense than sending the Giants over there. Oh, let me see something.
Them scrubs.
I don't want to subscribe to the Giants, and I don't care that this is the Giants' 100th season. Just show me the schedule. It is now. What do they have on here?
The Giants. I swear we better. I'm gonna say we better.
Okay, yeah, no, and the Giants say at y'all, so yeah, I don't understand. So technically, y'all get 4 home games in a row.
I mean, we need all the home games we could get.
No, listen, I think y'all might be better served having neutral site games this year.
We going undefeated on our neutral site games, so
yeah, see, there you go. Put the rest of them at a neutral site. All right, listen, let's close this thing out with our awards for the week. John's not here. Not going to give John Dumbass of the Week this week. Dumbass of the Week this week is Orlando Arcia from the Atlanta Braves. Now, here's my thing. I get it, my man. You still a little salty that last year in the playoffs. Y'all won game 2, and you got in the locker room, and attaboy Harper, and Harper – the next game, homered twice and stared you down while running around the bases. I get it. You was a little salty about that. So he returned the favor. The other night, hit a home run. Harper was at first base, and he stared Harper down. In a regular season game in August that the Braves lost.
Damn.
You didn't even win the game. You didn't even win the game. That's number 1. Number 2, I get it. The Phillies are not like they've been struggling. They just won this series in Kansas City. They're back home this week. They get 3 against Houston and then 4 against Atlanta. Those 4 games against Atlanta starting Thursday. It's the biggest series of the season. All right. Right now they have a 6-game lead in the division. I would say splitting that series is a positive because the Braves would gain no ground. But honestly, I think you got to win 3 of those 4. Right? I think you got to win 3 of those 4 to give yourself a little cushion going into September.
Yeah.
But this was like, why? Like, you don't want to give the Phillies no motivation. You don't want to give them any motivation. And now you once again put a target on yourself when y'all get the Philly. And it's not like you tearing it up. Like you hitting like under 220. You got a lucky home run. And instead of just rounding the bases, you decided to stare Harper down. And then the very next half inning, you go from being up 2-0 to a 2-2 game. All you did was just give them the inspiration to bust your ass.
Right.
So my dumbass of the week is Orlando Arcia for that like petty stare down at Bryce Harper. Who's your person of the week this week?
So, person of the week is going to be Dr. Umar Johnson again. No, I'm playing with you. Herb. I'm playing with you. No, you know what? Jokes aside, because that was some political stuff that he started a political beef with Steve Harvey. So,
my goodness.
But no, it was funny though. you gotta see what he said.
But he always saying something nutty. Always. And mind you,
it wasn't even nutty though. It was like he called him out. But it was funny though. And Steve Harvey, he had his little rebuttal joking on him. You know, he a comedian, so what you expect?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the real person of the week is the baseball player that you mentioned earlier. I'm gonna give part of the person of the week what was his name again? The one that in the 40-40 club, 40
Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him that.
Mm-hmm.
And the one I had in mind
Mm-hmm.
was Caitlin Clark because she's been balling since
Yeah.
they've been back. She's been tearing it up.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been winning too a little bit. I think they've been 3-2 in their last 5 games. She's been having over 20 points in each of the last 5 games.
Right.
Double-digit assists. Like, they was talking all that trash and trying to, bully the rookie earlier, but now in this back half of the season, she's figuring it out. And
well, you knew that was going to happen. You knew that was going to happen. You knew eventually, she took her rookie lumps and she rolled with it. But I got something to say about the WNBA real quick. All this conversation about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese has been good for the league. It has been. There's been more people watching and paying attention to what's going on. But can we give some love to A'ja Wilson, please? Can we stop forgetting that she's the best player in the league? Can we stop forgetting about her? Can we stop sweeping her under the rug like she's not like
the funny thing is, I was gonna say her, but they on a losing streak. I
get it.
She hit a little. She said she's in a slump right now. So had it been earlier, earlier, she'll get it back though. They out of a groove right now. I think they lost like 4 of their last 5 games. They're in a slump. She's in a slump. The team's in a slump. They're gonna right the ship because they nice, When they get back,
I'm just tired of her not getting the recognition.
But she's by far the best player in the league. She is. Yeah.
Just put some respect on her name, Seriously. Like, stop forgetting about her. I get it. You got those dynamic rookies that just came in. She's still the best player in the league.
Yeah. Easily.
All right. My what to watch this week. And I'm actually going to check it out a little bit later. I did see the preview for it. It's on Netflix. It's Untold, The Murder of Aaron McNair, which will examine the unfortunate tragedy with McNair being killed by his mistress on the 4th of July. I'm not sure. I think it was his apartment, her apartment. Not sure what it was. One of their apartments. Just a terrible way for a guy who, was one of the most dynamic players in the NFL. I think the year that he had to split the MVP award with Peyton Manning, I thought was a cop-out. I thought that he was the MVP of the league.
Yeah.
But they just had to include Peyton Manning too, because they didn't want him to be left out. Like, no, Peyton Manning did not deserve to be the MVP that year. It was McNair's award, and he should have won it outright without having to share it. I'm gonna talk more about it when we get to next week, but I definitely saw it up there. I want to check it out. If there's something that I've just started watching that I can tell you about, it's Last Chance U basketball. That's also on Netflix. If you haven't seen that yet, I think the last season was a couple of years ago. It's very good. It talks about East LA Community College, and these are guys who are trying to move on to higher Division I programs, and you have guys who were in high Division I programs that either were hurt or didn't have the grades or didn't have the right attitude, at a JUCO.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen that, check that out. That's actually really damn good.
Will do.
All right, John, I wish you were here today, buddy. I did want to talk to you about AEW's All In. I did catch the results. I'm going to probably watch that tomorrow morning since I don't have to go to work tomorrow. That's about it. I don't really have much else for the show. Not sure when. I think our team's regular season starts on September the 7th. So my Saturdays are pretty much going to be, done. My son is back playing again. I wasn't sure if he was going to play this year. He changed his mind. Like, he was like, no, I don't know. And it's like, well, yeah, Dad, I want to play. So my pockets is light again.
Yeah.
And
pockets up quick.
Yeah. Listen, man. Listen, but the fortunate thing for me this year, it's him. It's just him. Like I don't have
to do. That's all I say. At least you only just got the one.
Yeah. So now I don't have to. My Saturdays aren't going to be like here, there, and everywhere. It's just me coaching and going to support him for his games. So should be a good season, man. Anything you want to add before we get out of here?
No, I mean, you're going to have to let me know when y'all have y'all home games or a game that's nearby. Keep me in the loop.
Man. Listen, I got you. I will definitely let you know. I know we don't play the Panthers. The Panthers are right over here. But listen, next week we'll talk a little bit more about college football. Get ready for the season opener. Some picks, maybe.
So we could talk about you. Wait, where am I at? Right here.
Yo, you're making a W, man.
No. It's the U.
Yeah, man. You did like this, man. There you go.
I'm trying to find my bearings on my damn.
And speaking of, I know Florida State losing made you happy as a Miami fan.
Yeah. It was low key, just a little something.
Yep. Listen, I ain't mad at you, man. We'll talk about this really like strange season that this is going to be for college football. Yeah, we'll also talk about the new playoff and who we think could make the playoff this year. Right now, Penn State is on that line right now where I think they're fringe. They're fringe. They could make it. Maybe they won't. What's going to happen with Michigan? New head coach Harbaugh, now coaching in the NFL, coaching the Chargers. It's going to be a wild season. Oh, yeah, and Nick Saban out in Alabama. So Kalen DeBoer, the new head, it's going to be crazy. So we'll talk about that next week. All right, we out of here, man. See y'all next week.
Yep.